Thanks for Alex and Natalie inviting the bad one. So hopefully you're not roasting me. Yeah, so this is my topic today. So as I know, there are a lot of gamers in here, but I want to ask, are there some gamblers in here? So is someone honest and say who is gambling? Please raise your hand. Is there any? Well, so one. I know Daniel is playing too. Yeah, so like we mentioned before, gaming is not gambling, or is it the same? So I want to talk about this, and I want to discuss 25 years in the gambling industry, where I have some really things, some exciting things I learned there. And yeah, so this is me at the age of 5. So I was playing a board game. Maybe some of you are familiar with this kind of games. And this is me 45 years later. So I still played games like trading card games, poker, online games, any sort of games. So I'm very interested in getting the game strategy known, the game theory known, what's behind this kind of games. And we even have some game in the office. Like yesterday in the panel, we talked about bringing some kind of gaming experience to your office. So we do this in our office. We have some kind of escape the room games in our office. We even played FIFA EA World Championship on the PlayStation within the organization. And there was a final, and there was the legendary sports reporter Hans Huber, who made the moderation for the final. So it was a really, really great experience for all of our office guys. So what happened in 1999? It was a very, very, very great year for me because I placed second in the Austrian Magic the Gathering Nationals. And I flew to Tokyo and played for Austria in the World Championship for Magic the Gathering. And I started in the gambling industry and quit my PhD study. And I quit my job at McDonald's. So I say, okay, gambling industry, here I come. Yeah, and I did this the last 24 years. Started in the procurement sector, was social media manager, I was the head of poker bingo, I was the head of games, and I was even the feel-good manager. So I a little bit escaped the industry because now I'm the head of future concepts and I'm looking of mega trends and future trends in the next 10 to 20 years, and I have some of them with me today. So people are going to ask me why you're still working in the gambling industry, because as you heard, it's the bad one, so we are the bad ones. And so actually, you're right. We can't deny that the gambling industry has some very, very dark patterns. So there has to be someone who are obtaining within the gambling laws. So we try to have some kind like of fair play initiative. So that's not greenwashing. So maybe you think it's. Because can you give you 2 examples? That's a real story. A friend of mine called me and say he won 10,000 euros playing online casino, but the online casino denies him the money. What can he do? So I say, okay, it's very difficult. There was some kind of shady, dark pattern, bonus money, fraud, and they say, okay, we can't give you the 10,000 euros. You're sorry? So we are therefore that if you win 10,000 euros, you will get the 10,000 euros. And there's another story which shows these dark patterns, not the visible dark patterns, but the dark patterns which are in the gambling industry. So there was this, was a winner. It was an Austrian company who won 200,000 euros. And he said, okay, I want to cash out, please send me my money. And I said, no, we can't send out. We will send you on Monday and we will send you next week. That's very difficult. So you all know what happened. He lost the 200,000 euros again because the company did not pay him out. So that's where we are for, that if you win this kind of money and you say, I want to have it, you will get it. So we have a lot of employer branding at the Austrian lotteries, employee experience, that's very important for us. And if you work 25 years for a company, you get some kind of very interesting lifetime achievements. like doing some kind of shows, opening the online poker room in Austria, and we have developed a very, very interesting games. So for as you see in the right corner, we are trying to have some kind of office initiatives, like I told before, like to bring gaming into the office. Because, like we said, a gambling company does not consist only of gamers, so this is normal people, and we try to have some kind of gaming in there. So, and what I can show you is, what I tried the last 10 years is to combine gaming and gambling. So we have invented, I think, 3 or 4 prototypes. So this is one of them. Where we said, okay, what could a gaming game look like? So maybe it could like this. So yeah, but well, there are many ideas, but there is still no bridge between gaming and gambling. And these are the reasons. So it's not the core business, it's too expensive, it's too much risks. We got no IT resources. We had a lot of regulatory issues. It was too complicated for the gamblers. Maybe we had tried something with bad design, and there are a lot of failed tests. So there are many, many reasons where there still is no gaming in gambling. Or like Alex said, he tried some kind of game, it's called Castle Builder, where we tried to have some kind of fake gaming. So you can choose a character and you can collect some items. But it's still not, if a gamer plays it, he says, okay, that's not gaming, that's some kind of interactive gambling. So all these games, all these gambling games failed. And that's the main reason. People love choices, but they hate decisions. So it's if you're a gamer and you play games, you like this kind of decision making and have your progress. But for the ordinary people out there, they don't mind to make decisions. They just want to play a game. They want to push a button. They want to be entertained, but they don't want to think. So that's the main, I will come to that later. So we talked a bit about what's gaming, like Marco said before. So like, is this gambling or gaming when you buy a loot box or open a loot box, or if you pay in-game some kind of from items? So there is a definition by law. So first, gambling is a game in which the decision of the outcome of the game depends entirely or mainly on chance. So it's not entirely, it's mainly. So that's why poker is a game of luck. And players place a money bet, that's important, with an operator, and are offered the prospect of a real prize by that operator. So now what's the prize? So if you open a loot box and you win some kind of fancy dress or a gun in Counter-Strike, is this a prize? So is this gambling by law? We don't know. And it was discussed before if the gambling industry want to try to banish the gaming industry from doing this. So we do not the laws. The laws are done by the government, so we operate within the laws. And if the law says you have to win a physical prize or a prize which is money, that's not gambling. So there are different kinds game types of gambling. So mostly, like we said before, lottery games is considered not really gambling in Austria. So like everybody do it, you can send your children and say, okay, play lotto. It's in the evening television program. I think we have 3 or 4 million players who played lotto before. So when it comes to slot machines, that's where gambling really starts. And that's, for the most people, the most difficult topic when we talk about gambling. So there are a lot of other games like poker or bingo or virtual games, game shows, or even roulette or blackjack are not that dangerous. So what's the basic motives from gaming and gambling? So for gaming, mostly it's like entertainment, to have some kind of challenge, social interaction, escapism, and learning. That's very important. And when we talk about gambling, that's what we use in the office. It's about thrill and chill. It's about winning money. Interact, and we even used some kind of skill, which is not really skill, but mostly it's players say, like poker, I won because I was skilled, we know better. So it's basically about winning. If your game, because games typically involve an individual's skill or the skill of a group, people often expect to win because they believed that they were better than others. So if you play Fortnite, you say, I won Fortnite, not I got lucky because I'm better than the other 99. Or maybe I paid more money if it's a pay-to-win system. So in gambling, you expect to lose. That's very important. So if you ask a gambler, will you win today? Probably not. But maybe I got lucky today. So they play for relaxation, they play for excitement and entertainment in the hope of get lucky. So we heard before, like Markus say, if players start to play gambling for money and they want to chase back their losses, then that's problematic behavior. And that's where we should intervene and where we say, okay, let's talk, let's do something. Because 99% of the players had normal gambling activities. So, but this 1%, like the whales or the high rollers, and this 1% sounds very few, but if you have, like in Austria, it's 40,000 people who have some kind of gaming problematic. So we have to address this. So to win, you need the luck on your side. So that's gaming versus gambling. Games is all making about decisions. And very important, you learn and improve as you play. So that's why children love to play, because they learn from it and they can improve and they can play another game and can play better or can take their learnings and take that to real life. So if you win in a game, that's the ultimate award because you are better than the others. So you learned, you tried, you experienced, and you improved, so you win. In gambling, it's just pushing a button, and hopefully you will get lucky. So there's nothing to learning in gambling, and there's nothing to improve on, so winning is just a matter of chance. So that's other motives, because players are playing gambling products. And now there's some kind of social gambling, with some kind of product. Before we saw this chart, which the top 10 games which make money. So I don't know if you know CoinMaster. So like CoinMaster is slot machines, online slot machines, where you pay money to play, but you can't win any prizes. So, but players play this kind of machines. They say, okay, I like playing this. I don't mind if I win. I just want to play for relaxation. So that's some kind of social gaming or social gambling. And that's not considered as gambling in Austria by the laws because I don't offer you a prize. So you can play slot machines. If I say you can win, you can play it. It's like in Japan where you go to the saloons and the Asian people are playing slot machines, but not for winning, just to consume time. So that's the conclusion. Gambling and gaming are distinguished by the skill factor, and gambling elements make games better, but not vice versa. So the gaming industry, because Markus addressed it, took a lot from the gambling industry, but it's hard to steal back from the gaming industry for the gambling industry. So gambling is mostly limited by money, and gaming is limited by time, so that's the two factors. So let's have some kind of gambling deep dive. So maybe you know this game, Deep Rock Galactic, so for Carl. So if you're playing the lottery, it's like playing the same numbers for years. And nowadays, most people use quick tips. They don't mind the small part of gamification, playing a lotto just to have the right 6 numbers, so they don't mind. It's just, okay, I want to play. So there are some kind of hot and cold numbers, or if you're superstitious, I played a birthday from my grandson or from my mother or something like this. So basically, if you play a lotto, you don't play it for gaming, you play to dream, to have a dream until the next draw. So maybe when I will win the Euro Million, 200 million, I will buy this or that or so. So it's mostly about dreaming and to win some money. So there is basically non-gamification inside of lottery products. Then there's instant products. I call it land-based loot boxes nowadays, because people can relate to this. So actually, the loot boxes are stolen from this scratch cards. So there's a really small thrill of opening a briefloos or scratching a scratch cards. So there are some small game concepts inside, like a match 3 or some kind of maze where you have to follow. So there's a little bit of gamification in these scratch cards. So it's like an instant product. You go to the FIC or go to the supermarkets. Okay, maybe I get lucky and I have some kind of small game inside. Then there's the casino games. Roulette is mostly played for interaction and thrill. And even blackjack, which is considered by some, it's not gambling because it's gaming, because mathematics are on my side, it's not. So even if you play your best blackjack optimized strategy, the bank is still favorite. The only possible to win at blackjack is counting cards in Las Vegas, if you don't get caught. So basically, that's not gamification from the gaming part. Then there's the slot machine, and as there are no gamblers here, it's very, very difficult to tell you why players are playing this kind of games. So I was a gamer, so I didn't play slot machines either. But as I worked in the industry and became the head of slots, so I had to learn it by myself, and I played, and I played, and I played, and finally I knew why people are playing this kind of game. Because you really have to play it and you have to feel it for yourself. And like we talked about this dark pattern, so actually it's not dark patterns, but there are really, really good patterns inside of slot machines, like near wins, or jackpot wins, or high wins. And you can even lose a lot of times, it does not matter. So there are some kind of statistics that players play to get free spins, for example. So sometimes it took 100 or 200 spins to get into this kind of free games or free spins. So, but they don't mind. So, okay, I spent 100 spins to get into this kind of free spins. So mostly these games are played for a chill. So you get in some kind of chill flow zone where you play, like we talked a lot of slot players, so why do you play, when do you play, and they say, okay, when I come home, this is my 15 minutes, it's a hobby, I have some kind of limited budget, and I play this, I don't like to go to the cinema, I take these 20 euros and play slot machines. And before I play slot machines, I feed my cats, and I open the window, and I drink some water because they are also superstitious. And say, okay, now I have luck, today is my lucky day. And so it's like playing a game. And they play this kind of game. And normally it's no problem. And as you said, if you start chasing your losses, or if you, like Marcus said, okay, I get deposit money, okay, I deposit even more money, oh, I lost, I deposit again. So that's where there is some kind of danger. So there's bingo. So in Austria, actually, there is no bingo culture. It's like in other countries. So it's some kind of interactive game with rare highlights, and mostly played by women over 60. So I think in 40 years, there's no bingo anymore. And in Austria, we play other card games like Schnapsen or Romeo or Canasta. So it's our bingo. It's a very chilling game. So as I was head of bingo, I talked a lot with the bingo players, female players. It's very, very interesting because it's some kind of toxic environment, because they all know each other and they talk about, oh, how are you today? Oh, my back. And if there's a new player, you're new? I don't know if we want to like it here. You can stay here, but do not win. So we want to win for ourselves. It's very, very fun community. And yeah, there's poker. So poker is the only play you don't play against the casino or the bank. So you play against other players, except video poker or casino poker. And like say, players don't like to have some kind of decision. Poker is all about making decisions, a lot of decisions within short time. So players play it for competition, and that's why you had the discussion, is it poker, is it gambling, or is it gaming, or is it a strategy game, or a skill game, or is it a game of luck? So yeah, mostly the outcome you can't have no influence with which cards are coming. So if you, that's some kind in the brain, if players win at poker because they were good, if they lose because they had bad luck. So, okay. So it does not make sense in the long run. So, for my last part of the presentation, I've brought 5 future trends with me for money and games. These were made with the Zukunftsinstitut in Austria, maybe you know it. It's a very famous institute in Germany and in Austria. So the first one is the subscription economy and new payments. We had a lot of this. So Markus mentioned loot boxes are out again. So there are other kind of monetization like subscription models or microtransactions or like season passes or other things. So the gaming industry is very, very innovative when it comes to this. So if you look for gambling, it's just, okay, give us money, play, and so there's no innovation in gambling in this kind of economy. So there is even no subscription economy for gambling. We don't have a like Amazon Prime abo for Win Today. So it's not there. It's not even allowed by the law. So we are 10 or 20 years behind in this. So we can take a look what gaming is doing. So nowadays everyone has a Spotify, Netflix, you have your Cardis, Amazon Prime for shopping. So this will get bigger in the future. So we don't go back and buy some kind of, like we see this retro games, so it still will be niche. So everything will be bought online. The second one is a very, very large topic. So I think we could talk about 1 hour, and Alex had some kind of metaverse study there. So as this is a very, very huge topic, even with AI, so I think I want to give you 2 thoughts about the metaverse. So metaverse is all about hybrid. So yesterday we had Stefan, a cosplayer. So actually cosplaying is a metaverse because it connects the virtual world with the real world. So there's some kind of metaverse. Because metaverse, there's a link between these 2 worlds. And we don't know which directions are going. Mostly when you talk to people and say, what's the metaverse? They say, okay, it's like Ready Player One. So like Mark Zuckerberg say, in Second Life, we will dive in, we have some kind of virtual reality glasses, and that's the metaverse, that will be the metaverse. Yeah, maybe. But maybe it's the other way around. So maybe the metaverse comes to the real life. Some kind with Google Glass, the new Apple or Google augmented glasses. So you play Fortnite and you win a very rare skin, or you pay for a very rare skin, you pay 80 euros for a skin. So it would be great if I could show this skin in real life. So if you all wear some kind of augmented reality glasses, so maybe I will see Alex in his new Fortnite skin, and all of you. So if you know the movie Surrogate, or if you've seen the series Westworld, so maybe the whole robotic and artificial intelligence will lead to some kind of real-life metaverse. So maybe that's too far in the future, but the metaverse don't have to be virtual. So it's a hybrid, so that's very important to have. The third trend is the hyper-personalization. So there is no one fits all. I want it my way, so I want to have it this. And it's all about the real goods versus the virtual goods. And maybe they will become hybrid goods. So like we talked before, if you have a scratch card, you scratch, you win money, you won money. If you open a loot box and you win, for example, or in Counter-Strike, like with the skin gambling, you win something, they say, okay, it's not worth because it's a virtual good. But for the children or the youth or some young adults or even adults, these kind of virtual goods become more important than the real goods. Because I wear some shoes, but maybe I have some kind of very fancy boots for Fortnite, and they're more important than my shoes I wear in the real life. So this will become real assets, and maybe the virtual goods will become more and more important than the real goods. And now we have all this gender discussion, and so that's even part of it, which was inspired by gambling, because because in gaming you can be wherever you want. I can be a female character, I can be a young or old character, does not mind. So what people are going in their real life, they say, okay, I can be in gaming wherever I want this in the real life too. So we see what gaming is doing to the real life. And the fourth one is value attainment. It's all about purpose and sustainability, driven by the Gen Z and Gen Alpha generation. So that's a very important roles will play influencers, like we heard before. So there is a study that in 10 years, 30%, the first information source will be influencer. So it will be not the newspaper, not the media, it will be the influencer. So the role of the influencers will grow in the next years, by a very large scale. So that's very important, that the role of the influencer will be very important for this. So if they are going to some kind of, okay, let's play gambling, it would be good for the gambling industry, but maybe not for society. So, but the influencers going for this kind of gender and sustainability, that would be very, very good. So like Veni was yesterday, Raphael Eisler, if you heard him on the deep dive panel, he is very good that he say, okay, I don't mind about all the money, but I will give something back to the community and do some kind of social work and some charity. So that's very, very good to hear from him. So, and the last one is some kind of summary from it all. So the society shifts from a money society to a time society. Because when you think about it, working 4 days a week, so we all want to work less. Work-life balance, work-life blending, home office, remote work. So we want to work less for the same money. Maybe we can work less for less money. So, yeah. So if you ask people if they want to work 80% for 80% of the money, most will take it. There will be artificial intelligence, which maybe can cost jobs, maybe will generate jobs, we don't know. So maybe we can all stay home in the future and do whatever we want, play games, for example. So there will be more time to play games or other things, or entertain or consume series or movies. So if you think about far future topics like autonomous driving or the climate crisis. So what will happen, perhaps we will have some kind of climate lockdown in 15, 20 years. We don't know yet. So maybe we have to stay home. So this will enable metaverse or other things. So that's very important, like for the gaming industry and for the entertainment industry and even for the gambling industry, because we rely on money and not on time. So we have to invent ourselves again. So this was it from my talk. Hopefully I'm just in time, and I'm happy to answer your questions.